we need an intro or like are
That's
we like
his, right? You're not drinking that, right?
I'm not drinking any beer.
Yeah.
So do you think we need
You said you're going to quit. God damn it. We'll just kind of start out by I don't know exactly how to start it. It is a weird thing to just start it, but we'll sort of
bring people around to
we'll
how
pretend
we
like we know what the overall point of the podcast is, and just sort of we'll say the
like
name
we
of
did
it.
our research.
Yeah,
we spent many hours figuring out what we want.
How's the lighting? Do you
Yeah, it's good. It's
more
good.
Moody. You can turn off that. Actually, I'm going to turn off that closet light real quick.
Okay, I'm going to talk to warm up my
Your Vox
stuff. Yes. Turning off my phone.
Mine's got to stay on, but no one ever texts me, so.
Aww.
It's going to change, though.
That's gonna change.
The fans, they're going to bother me. It's going to jam.
Oh.
Jealous that. What do you need?
I was gonna help him.
Oh.
He had his hands full of guitars and couldn't shut the door.
He can take care of himself.
No, I felt so bad the other day when I was like, you like nuts, right? And then like Chris is like, what? And you're like, stop mothering me. And I felt like it was like a funny day because
I was just joking.
I know, but I am like getting out of control with mothering. Like not just you, just like the world. I'm like, because
you got that baby fever.
I know, it's all about the babies. But I thought it was a funny day
one.
because
Go ahead, keep talking.
And I don't know, is like work off limits?
I mean, it would make sense for us to talk about that because we both work at the same place, but
we don't want to get fired, right?
I don't even know if that would happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Whatever.
And it's just a weird place to go to because I say everything with love. I love everyone at work, and you have this like contempt for everyone at work.
And that's funny. Here's what I would say is it's not off limits, but if we end up talking about it naturally, I want to make anything like that as universalist as possible, where we're not like talking about post-production.
Yeah.
Where people like won't get it. Like,
I know, like XMLs and stuff.
Yeah,
but
but it has. But even getting into like. Well, yeah, and that's also gets into, like, if we want to bring up someone specific, we, don't want to probably say their name.
Yeah.
And, but I almost worry, too, about even, like, because there's so many people
giving
there I think are
funny.
Stuff, and that I could, like, talk about, but if anyone ever heard it, I would feel bad, and it might be.
Exactly, yeah.
But, I don't know. Let's just not talk about it on this one.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say in this warm-up that it was the same day that Leighton was like, I'll help you, I'll kick that salad guy's ass for you, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was very sweet, but like two people looking out for Clark.
I know.
Like, do you like nuts, right? You need to get your omega-3s.
That's the mistake of telling him anything, like, personal, because he, like, acts like your protective girlfriend, no matter his sexuality or anything.
That's cute.
It is cute, but I don't want to. I'm trying to move past that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, let's start this shit.
It's a very sweet bromance.
9. I'm gonna set it for 10, 11. Is that right? Yeah. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everyone, to the inaugural podcast, the first episode of Big Kids, starring? We're
featuring?
Co-starring, yeah.
Hosting?
It's not featuring because we're going to be on it every fucking episode. Or
a feature.
My name's Clark. I'm the one with the voice that the more we both sound. Technically, I would say we both could sound like post-op transsexuals, if that's still the right thing to say. But I'm the one.
Do I
that
have like a dude voice?
No, you had the better surgery.
Oh,
you know
okay.
what I mean? Because you actually sound like a
Or
chick.
do I sound? Oh, okay, good.
And you're a southern one.
Oh.
And I have a deeper horse-sounding voice right now because I've been singing in my car a lot lately. Because I'm a musician. And that's where
He's got to get his voice. Yeah,
so I have like a horse sort of like transsexual voice, and she's the one that sounds more country.
You know, I can hear that in
I'm
you.
Clark. She's Lauren.
Yes, I'm Lauren.
Lauren Brown.
Lauren
Clark
Brown.
Watts.
I'm the star because this is starring.
So
Lauren
this is
Brown
the first
and-
episode of our show called Big Kids, and our loose idea of it is we're two adults that have had a lot of issues transitioning into adulthood. So we're dealing with this dichotomy of getting older and being emotionally unstable and financially. You told me the other day your mom still does your taxes. My mom still does stuff for me too.
I didn't know you were listening to that. Yeah.
I mean, you said it directly to me. So
No, I was talking to Chris about that, and you were
yeah.
eavesdropping. Stay out of your bees. Stay out of my bees. No, it was like, no, she hasn't done my taxes in a long time because I actually haven't done my taxes in years.
Oh, that's what you were. Yeah. So the IRS is after you as we speak.
I hope not. But yeah, this will be the first year in
Those
like 10
guys,
years
if anyone
that I do my
listens to
taxes.
podcasts at work, it's the IRS dudes because when they're not chasing after people, because there's more broke people than people that they should chase. They need to chase after. So I bet they're going to hear this and they're going to find you. That's a fucked up thing to say.
Don't scare me. Don't make me paranoid.
No, but they have nothing
on
to
this
get from you.
issue.
That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, that is true. I mean, every debt collector is like, I disappoint every one of them. I don't answer their calls. I don't give them what they want.
I know. I feel like I feel like debt collectors are starting to call me and they don't leave messages, but I see lots of numbers that I don't recognize that I just don't answer the phone. I'm getting a lot of those.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah,
like multiple ones a week.
But they're from different states, so you kind of feel like you're traveling all over the
you feel a little
U.S.
worldly.
You know, Florida one day, Tennessee
Oh
the
shit!
next.
From Kansas? Who do I know there? Oh, Bolivia?
Yeah. Bolivia.
Yeah.
They're outsourcing all those debt collectors.
That's one, and I still, I should TurboTax it at this point because I just have a simple. I now have a full-time job. I didn't for a long time. I was unemployed a lot and getting unemployment benefits and stuff.
How long were you unemployed?
Oh God, that's a lot.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I use that time to apply for jobs occasionally, but I was a full-time unpaid online dater during that time.
No, I always just assumed that you always had a job. So like
I did. I was online Tinder.
Well,
and
you don't get
OkCupid.
paid for tenderizing.
Tenderizing meat like a butcher.
I guess you get. You
do get paid for that. It's a trade. It's an ancient trade.
Yeah. So I always felt bad because I was unemployed for a few years. So now I feel better that more people experience that.
But you were still, your mom was still helping you with taxes even during that time. Were you on unemployment?
She wasn't helping me with taxes because I wasn't doing them. I haven't been doing them.
But were you collecting unemployment?
No.
Oh,
It was like, how did I get money? I mean, for a while...
You were just unemployed fucking cow tipping in Oklahoma. For no
I was
money.
living at my granddad's house. And
We're both
there were
from
no,
Oklahoma.
oh yes, that's another fun fact.
Yeah.
But we didn't want that to be the main thing. So, I was in Oklahoma and I was taking care of my granddad's house. And there's no jobs in Cushing. Unless you want to be
Cushing, Oklahoma, jewel of the South.
Actually, our slogan was Pipeline Crossroads of the World. Because all the oil pipelines met in the world in Cushing, Oklahoma. So they all crossed. Keystone got... that was a big Keystone talk about town.
Right.
Obama visited. Everyone
Keystone,
wanted
the
to
beer?
kill him.
It was bottled there? The
Oh,
shitty...
Keystone the pipeline, man. Get on the issues.
Well, you might think that based on Cushing being the Keystone pipeline that it would be an important place, but you'd be wrong because it's not, right? The population's... Well, because that sounds like, oil's big money. So, if all the oil lines are meeting there, you would think that would be an oil boom kind of town. But, I mean, what does that mean ultimately?
I think, in the 70s.
Yeah.
And then...
We had a gas crisis during the 70s.
Maybe, but here's how it always works. It's like a boom and a bust.
Yeah.
So, like, you'll get mass amounts of money from an oil boom, and then it's all gone, and everyone busts. And people have a problem, like, whenever they get this big boom, it's new money. It's like Beverly Hillbillies, like, black gold, and so they...
Texas tea.
So they, like, splatter the whole city with statues and thunder teams and all sorts of stuff, and then they run out of oil and they bust, and everyone's broke, and it's a horrible place to live. But I do miss everyone, but I don't miss Oklahoma.
Yeah, I was. So you were unemployed during that time. I've been out in LA 8 years now, and yeah, I've spent a more significant chunk of that time unemployed than I would like to have. And during that time, I was doing a lot of online dating, but I was also getting unemployment checks. And even then, what I did to be as a big kid, ironically, but it's not ironic. It's actually really literal because I am a big kid because I don't know how to do my taxes. Right? That's the point. I still send them home to my parents' accountant.
So that's kind of like having your mom do your taxes.
It's basically because she's forwarding it along to Ann so and so.
So why are you giving me so much guff on not being able to do?
No, I'm identifying with you.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, I'll give you guff later. I'll give you guff. And you know what? And here's the thing: I should learn how to do it myself on one of those shitty tax websites that they advertise on like cars that drive around the city. You know, like some because I would get my return faster than sending it to her because she's busy with like orthodontists in Oklahoma or something that actually like make money, you know, and she probably has to like figure a lot of shit out. But for me, mine are really easy, and I don't remember her last name offhand, but it's not Jewish, and I feel like that might be why it takes her so long to do it because like everyone else does like
it's
TurboTax.
You can only
Now, I knew one Jewish person in Oklahoma in 5th grade. I had a girl I didn't cheat off of. I cheated my way through geometry in 9th grade.
You sweet talked her?
No, kind of. We sat, this girl in 5th grade, her name was Ann Judah. She actually had Jew in her name. Yeah. But because we were 10 and in Oklahoma, we didn't know what Jews even were, you know? So it wasn't like, I didn't get it then. Mm-hmm. But I remember like we would have treat day and every Friday or something, and she couldn't eat stuff with like pork fat in it.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone else would be enjoying double stuff Oreo. That was before people knew that like Oreos hurt you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was before like health was invented.
Well, and before they put such crazy stuff in Oreos. I mean, like high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, because Oreos used to be really healthy.
Yeah.
Didn't they always put that garbage in that garbage? Before we spin off into our school days when we were in britches, let's talk about today.
Oh,
we had some adventures today.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to go first. I want to save mine.
Yeah, it revolves around just the. So we're both from Oklahoma, and we moved to LA, and we're having all these big city adventures. It's been a weird transition. I mean, I'm 8 years in, and I'm going to be curious to see where you are 8 years in. You know?
Yeah, if I'm just jaded of this town.
Yeah, because you seem so much more like positive than me, and like a lot of times I'll say something like dark that I think's hilarious, and you say like "ah," and I'm just like, I wonder if she'll lose that after she gets beaten down. I used to be
cynical, but I switched over to the sunny side, so I don't know. I think it's like
I think I am too a little bit. I think some of the cynicism's a bit forced at this point, but I just still do it. I don't know.
I also think it's kind of like the trend of what's funny is kind of changing, like. For a while, it was like to be snarky and apathetic, and then now it's kind of shifting into like everyone love each other, let's work together.
Maybe. I feel like I think for a while it's been really like Judd Apatow-y. Yeah. Which is very I guess what you're saying. But I think it's shifting away from that over like sentimentality kind of thing, and it's going more to like kind of edgy stuff, because I've noticed a lot of stand-up comedians that are out right now, like they have this influence of classic 80s guys like Seinfeld and stuff, where they have quick like tight jokes, but and it's really observational, but they're also really filthy and have no morality at all, and I feel like that's which for comedy to me is like key, like if like if somebody says something and the obvious joke to make is like some kind of child molestation joke, like you got to make it, and don't judge the person. And if there's a third person in the room that does judge them, that's funny. But like so many people are thinking that in their heads, like just the worst possible thing that you got to.
You think about child molestation a lot, okay?
Yeah, and I practice it here and there. No, but I want to. But wait, I want to cater to the lowest common denominator.
Okay,
that's the basic point. I had some. So this is a really typical LA adventure, and something in sharp contrast to what you'd find in Cushing, the pipeline to the south. I went to Amoeba Records, one of the remaining flagship record stores. There's one in Hollywood and one in San Francisco, and they have lots of used and new vinyl and CDs and movies and all kinds of shit. It's becoming one of the last bastions of places you can go to buy physical music product. It's a cool place. And I went there and I was walking up, and I was accosted by Buzzfeed. You know that site?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There was.
Are you going to be featured in?
I think so, because I tried my best to answer the questions all really sarcastically, and even though the topic was really serious, but it was two chicks. Like one was like a producer, one was the interviewer, and then there was a camera guy, and they were interviewing people about birth control.
Oh, serious stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And because I've had 800 girlfriends at this point, I know a little bit about the. I'm not bragging, by the way, by saying that. It's all gone horribly wrong. It's really just not even. But no, I feel like I know a thing or two about a thing or two when it comes to going to a drugstore and asking some questions and getting some fucking birth control.
But have you ever gone to a doctor's visit with one of your ladies?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Cool. Yeah. Way to go, Clark. Yeah. That's really sweet.
Yeah, because, I am really like, well, that was one of the things that came up is at one point they asked me, if male birth control was available, would you take it? Excuse me. And I said, yeah. If
just as a male would, he would burp, and then those men.
I should have then. Yeah. I said, yeah, because I've read a little bit. Apparently, there's one on the horizon, and it doesn't have a lot of side effects. Because I have a lot of sympathy for chicks that take it because it really fucks with your system, you know. And I've encountered that quite a bit. I've been with a lot of girls that are on it, and I've been with a lot of girls that a fair amount anyway that were on it and quit while I was with them, and then ones that just don't take it.
Yeah,
and that ties in too. So anyway, I met these. I signed this waiver and I agreed to be interviewed. And they asked me. The first question was, "Do you know what the rhythm method is?" Oh,
I know.
Yeah, well, I thought I did too, but what do you think it is?
Quiz me on it?
Yeah.
It's where you know your cycle, and so you...
I hate you right now. That was the right answer.
Oh, see?
You want to hear
I'm educated, Clark.
Yeah. Well, no, but that's part of... That's what I said.
I'm sexually educated.
My answer is when you jizz somewhere else, other than... I wanted to start it off on it. I wanted to let him know where I was at. No, but that's part of what it is. It's when you, obviously... Okay, so does the rhythm method directly refer to like the rhythm of a cycle?
Yeah.
No, but it's when you have sex unprotected and you pull out. That's the rhythm method. So is there two different meanings?
How is it the rhythm method? What is rhythmic about it?
Well, I mean, it's not like
I thought that was the pull-out method.
It's not set to 70s funk. It's not rhythmic in that way. The rhythm is, hey, I feel a rhythm of I'm about to jizz, so why don't I jizz somewhere else? Because my girlfriend is not on birth control, and then you pull out. That's the rhythm method.
Are you joking right now?
No,
or
not
are you
at
serious?
all. That's absolutely...
No, that's the pull-out method, because it's pulling out.
Oh my God, am I just totally wrong here?
I feel like this is actually a demonstration of big kids. Like, we don't know what sex is.
You know what this actually
We don't
makes...
know what these terms are, so we have to discuss them on the playground.
Would that actually make... Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit beyond playground discussion. I
don't know about your playground, but we had some deep conversations.
You guys were 5 and talking about the rhythm method, the pull-out method.
Just like them Sex and the City gals.
No, you might actually be right, because it actually makes me think. Recently, I was perusing the Planned Parenthood website, and they had different. They were advising different methods of birth control, and one was the rhythm method. And I actually, I guess, ignorantly, apparently thought they were advocating pulling out as a thing, you know, because it is actually like, I mean, listen, like,
I do want to hear about this.
Yeah.
Because it's rhythmic to pull out.
Well, but I think I'm realizing I'm wrong.
You are wrong.
Yeah.
But I do want to realize, understand your...
Yeah, because when I just thought that was like a term, like, you know, like neo-Nazi, right? Like, they call a Nazi.
Yeah.
It's not really that new, you know? It's a classic Nazi, but they got to call it something, you know? I thought the rhythm method was just a term for, I didn't, like, examine it, you know what I mean? It's like how I used to say thesaurus for a long time before people started laughing in my face. Yeah. Like, I didn't know, I just didn't think about it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I thought the rhythm method, I guess if I did think about it, even in a subconscious way, I thought, oh, the rhythm method, because, like, you know, there's a rhythm to when you're going to jizz, so you should probably like, pull out and, you know, jizz somewhere else.
Okay, so a rhythm, so you like...
But it's more of a circadian cycle of like timing. A locust sort of girl thing. Yeah. So I got it wrong and you got it right. Yeah.
So did they ask about the rhythm method specifically because they were at Amoeba? Like rhythm and music?
Oh, that's good. Good one.
I mean, it's good on their part if they did.
They were just doing the overall birth control quiz and shit. But I got it. But now I'm realizing I feel dumb because I thought that meant pulling out. And I said that, and I said jizz even.
But you know what? I'm sure a lot of young boys think that it's that the rhythm method is pulling out too. So you just saved
the big
a lot
kids
of
moniker because I'm dumb and I just think like a kid.
There's still probably some things I don't know about that.
The dick?
I can get schooled. I don't know anything about dick.
Oh, I mean, there's nothing to it. All what you see is what it is. Yeah, so I got So no, they were just doing the whole. They were going over the whole thing, the whole. That was just the first question, and then I fucked that up. But I was also just trying to be funny because, you know, I feel like I'm pretty good, like on my toes, and I you know, that was a funny topic to like be grilled about on the street.
Mean, you have to. You know, it's like the golden opportunity.
Yeah, I was trying to like make sound bites, you know.
Yeah.
So I said that, and then what did they ask me? They asked me about the availability logistically of birth control, Plan B, I think it was. So they asked, where do you get Plan B at a drugstore? Do you know that one?
Yeah. Okay, so you have to call in.
Can I say what I said first? I said next to the Snickers, and that's
a good one. I like that.
It's wrong, but go ahead. School us.
Well, maybe I do. I mean, you can correct me.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of a trick question because I did sort of know. And
from what I have only used it once, and from what I understand, I had to get a prescription.
Can I just ask what was that night like? Was it like?
Okay, it's actually not what you think. I actually got it for a friend, and I'm not saying this. I mean, I'll be like totally like open about sexual stuff. I don't care about that. But I actually did get it for a friend.
I follow already. So you were having group sex, and you didn't. You were just more into like a hand job portion of it, and a guy jizzed on your friend, and then some of it seeped into your vagina. If I had a nickel,
you got me. Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, what
you
really
saw the
happened?
tape, so you know. No, but I actually was getting it for a friend because this was in Oklahoma and because she was very like stigmatized about that kind of stuff, because it is kind of like a hazy abortion-y thing, you know,
in a red state.
In a red state, of course, because it's like they might have conceived the night before, so the morning after is like. I don't know. It's red state, so I don't really care.
That's a very particular picket sign. You might have conceived the night before, so we. It's not even catchy.
God hates people who conceive the night before and then use the morning after pill. Okay, no, but long story short, I think you have to get a prescription.
Yeah.
And then.
That's why
go
I
up
said
to
that too.
Well, I paid at the window or got it at the window.
Drive-through?
Yeah, I drive through.
Yeah. I would just get other stuff too. Can you also grab me deodorant and a sweet tooth
and lube for all that group sex I'm having?
But you just was that more? You think that was more or less uncomfortable than doing it in store? Did you go through the drive-thru for any conscious reason?
I just don't really have hang-ups about that stuff, so I think I just went through the drive-thru just because it was convenient for me. Like, I was
a lazy day.
I gotta go to Arby's and I gotta, get my cigarettes at the
that's a good activity on a slippers and Arby's day, just to go through the drive-thru to get the
with my Winnie the Pooh shirt and but I wouldn't mind going in person. I mean, who's gonna it's not like it's this giant bag that has big giant Plan B letters on the front. Who's gonna know except you and the pharmacist? But anyway.
Prescription is your answer, and
was that right?
I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, prescription was part of the right answer, and she also said, and I felt very I called her on this a couple of times. I was trying to be funny, but I was also vaguely annoyed. Because I wanted to be, whatever. I wanted to be on camera and have fun, but I was, very accosted. And she was very, she was cool, but she was kind of Alex Trebek-y about it, where I felt like she had all the answers.
Yeah.
No, well, she was like, actually, it's this. And I was just like, well, you got, you're a chick and you got the answers. I'm just kind of, but, she said prescription, and she said, what was it? Because I had to, because you have to, I've had to get it once before, too. And you have to... We asked someone at the counter, because they had it behind the counter, but she was saying something like it's not... You could get it not behind the counter.
Oh.
I don't... And so it was still prescription.
But yeah, I always thought it was behind the counter.
No, I'm mixing two things up. Birth control is prescription. Which I got right. She was saying that there's a way to get it in drugstores, apparently, that you don't have to even talk to someone, but I forget now. So I guess it's available. But you know what? In a big city like LA, I bet it's still in one of those locked cases, like the deodorant, where you have to have somebody get the key for it.
Yeah, what is that? Just random products. I don't understand why they lock them up.
Because you can melt deodorant and huff it, and that's why.
Oh, drugs. Why didn't I think about that?
And it makes your nose cavity smell really ocean fresh. No, I don't know why they do that. I guess because homeless people steal it a lot. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
What else did they ask me? They asked me... they asked me about IUDs.
Oh, yeah.
I bet they were only asking guys because, most girls probably know this stuff.
Yeah, because they have to deal with it more. You don't have to, shove... IUDs up your urethra
But let me tell you something. There's probably... She seemed surprised that I did know so much about this stuff in general, but I don't think it's that surprising because there's plenty of guys that have been paranoid so much about getting someone pregnant that they do research. You know?
Oh yeah, I know.
That's why
I actually appreciate it too. I feel like he should be responsible too, So
well, it's less responsibility and more selfishness of
I don't want baby mama drama from
I heard this chick say she likes kids. I wonder if she... they asked me about IUDs, and I think I just sort of talked long enough to where they didn't correct me if I got any of it wrong. But my stab at that was there's two different kinds of them. Mm-hmm. One's a copper IUD, and the other one I didn't know the material. And one releases hormones, and one isn't hormone based, which I'm pretty sure is right. And I think the one that's non-hormone based, whether it's completely non-hormone based or just more non-hormone based than the other one, is more preferable because the hormones in birth control is what fucks up girls. You gain weight and you eat Hershey's and get pimples on your titties and shit like that. You basically just live like a hoarder, and you didn't even want that. You know what I mean? All you're trying to do is not get pregnant. You gotta live like a TLC chick. But I think I was right though. She congratulated me on that one. She had kind of jacked up teeth, I gotta say, which I actually kind of like a little bit. You like that? What do you when you look at a dude? Do you like everyone. Listen, everyone likes attractive people. That's where we start. But I like it when there's a little bit of a flaw.
Yeah, like an edge. Yeah, I do like edge.
One snaggletooth or one herpy instead of a lot. You know what I mean? Just one. Because they've seen some shit.
I don't know about that, but different strokes.
Yeah. Her teeth were actually they were all really in line and everything, but I just happened to notice that she was pretty attractive, but her teeth were they had this weird discoloration going on.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Which I feel like happens when you run out of toothpaste and instead you brush your teeth with hash browns.
It does look a lot like that, yeah.
Yeah, which Ore-Ida endorses, but it's not approved by the dental fuckers of America.
Maybe one day, if Ore-Ida buys out, if Ore-Ida merges with Colgate, you never know what can happen.
So that was my goofy, and then I went into Amoeba and I made my usual stack of shit that I would have been mostly impulse buys, and then I whittled it down to just two things. And that was really all there was to. That was really
so you're
only
on
adventure.
Video?
Yeah,
I thought it was just like an article.
Yeah, no, it's
cool.
a video. It's going to be on YouTube. She said. Well, that's why I was trying to be funny with it because I want them to. And then also at one point a motorcycle drove by really loud, and she was like, "Oh, like that's loud," and I was like, "Oh, this guy's probably going to get Plan B."
Oh,
I get it.
Badooch, yeah, good one, Clark.
Yeah, so
You're gonna make it in.
I want him. Yeah.
Perfect timing.
That was my day adventure. But we were talking earlier about we've both. LA's, if you do want to go out drinking, for instance, some night, it's not a city that's very catered to doing that, and it's a very spread out city. So you got to get a ride or have someone drive you, this designated sober person. So if you don't have that, and who does? Unless you have some creepy AA friend, So if you want to... No, but so you got to, like Lyft and Uber are obviously huge out here, and we were talking earlier about on the drive down to my friend Ryan's, who's been sweet enough to engineer this podcast for us about Lyft drivers, and you had some Lyft adventures today.
Yeah, so the first one
you're using Lyft Line, right?
Well, I was using it intentionally, and now I'm using it unintentionally because they just like know me so well, at this point that it's like a default for me for them to like go to for me.
Well, most people know what Lyft and Uber are at this point, but they have the spin-off features where
like a ride share.
Yeah,
like,
you can carpool with people.
You have to. It's cheaper, but you have to wait a little longer and share a ride with
other
others.
people.
Yeah,
but sometimes are you so like you're the first person sometimes or the last person? Are you always jumping in?
It's always a shakeup. You never know.
So today were you with other people?
I was not
passengers?
supposed to be with other people, but I noticed today actually that it was automatically putting me online. So I wanted to just have like a direct lift to my job for picking up paycheck stuff. And the line was on, so I get in thinking that it's just a direct line for me, and then we have to go pick up someone else.
It's going to be black tie service, just right
exactly,
there.
Yeah, then, VIP, roll up in a tux and ride to the door. But no, I was sharing it with someone, and they lived like in the thick of Silver Lake, so it was all these like windy roads. I just wanted to like get on the highway, and go. But like they canceled at the last minute because he was taking so long.
When you say the thick of Silver Lake, do you mean I picture like Vietnam-esque conditions where people say, "Oh,
you haven't seen it since it's gentrified."
People say, "Look out for Charlie," like a Nam thing, but it's like just someone in like little shorts and like black frame glasses.
No, I'm just saying like there's a lot of like windy, turn, pointy, weird street stuff down there, and it's kind of congested. There's just not like a flow. There's actually not a flow anywhere in LA. Like traffic is terrible anywhere you go. But he ended up taking us on taking me because the other girl had canceled because he was taking so long. But he ended up taking me on like a scenic tour.
So he was on his way to get the other passenger, and he abandoned ship, and then
she abandoned ship. I think because
and then so now you've gone out of your way and you're heading back towards where you're going.
Yeah.
So between then and when you on your way to where you're going, does he have the option to pick up other people too?
Yeah, but at this point, like, I didn't want to cancel him and get another one.
But I'm saying, is the ball in his court as far as that goes? Yeah. Like, so were you like dreading like him being like accept, and then he has to go to?
But I was kind of I'm usually not rude to them, but I was kind of being like passive aggressive with him.
So he was just like taking forever and like taking wrong turns, or
Yeah,
what was
he was just like taking it easy. It was just like,
was he using a
nice afternoon
directional app?
He was using, I don't know exactly what he was using, but he was using a GPS. It didn't
yeah, which they're all just so married to.
Yeah, I know. Why can't they like?
Well, I mean, usually the things work pretty well, but
judgment.
there's certain point A to point B destinations that, you know, if you take them a lot, you notice that like there's better ways to go, and they're just so locked into it, and they will not diverge.
That's what I was trying to tell you earlier, is that they're like, the navigation isn't always can't always be found on a screen, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like in your gut, you know, like
it's in your heart.
Yeah, they're not born to be drivers. You'll never cut it out on Lyft.
But he had your destination programmed, right?
Yeah.
So what was the?
I think what happened was the cancellation screwed him all up on like destinations. You know? So he takes me all around through Griffith Park.
I mean, was he like? But was he comfortable?
No, he didn't show fear, which is what like the most annoying thing.
Yeah.
Is he was just kind of like a confused, like spacey, bumbly, like. Yeah. Oh, we should take this street.
Yeah. He seemed aware of the fact that he was like going in like a roundabout way, or he seemed like he didn't, you know, like you were fine with it, or like whatever.
He was just so spacey. Like he was just spacey. He didn't like. It didn't even feel like he knew I was in the car, you know? Like,
you guys weren't talking at all? Really?
No. And I don't talk to all of them. I try to talk to some, but it was just kind of like, I mean, I was like making phone calls and being like, I gotta get to this place at
trying
this
to give him the
time.
hint?
And, yeah.
And he did not pick up on it, I'm guessing.
No. I mean, we talked a little bit about he was like involved with realty. But it was just one of those, like, he was taking so long, and I understand that traffic was horrible, but he just was not using his better judgment to get me there soon. So like I didn't care about his property.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I'm actually interested in realty, so I was asking him like, how did you get involved in realty? And he was like, oh, I just always liked it. What does that mean? Like, did you take a class? Did you?
I was on a Lyft drive, and I took 20 wrong turns, and I ended up at Century 21, and they said, we hired. That explains a lot. Yeah. What? So when did he figure it out? Like, when did he get on? Could you tell when he was on the right track? Like, when it finally.
This is also another problem I have with Lyft, is they tell people to get on the 101, and it always screws them up, but 5 is always the best. And some people know to go to the 5, but everyone, because they're hooked onto that GPS, they think the 101 is where I have to be. The 101 is where I have to be. But if you know, like, if you've been doing this game as long as I have, you know that.
You start to learn a thing or two about a thing or two.
Yeah. So, you know, like the points of traffic, you know, like I just knew like the way he was going, everyone else would be going in that direction because they're all using their GPS. Yeah. They're all sheep. They're all following this stupid.
Yeah. And it told him the 101?
Yeah. It told him the 101. So,
which does go through Burbank, but it's not as direct as the 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like you have to go through all those studios and all those like winding stoplight stuff just to get to where we are. So there's no point in taking like a residential, like, even though there's sometimes not a lot of movement on the highways, I would rather take them than
plus you're very, very anti-Semitic, and like when you drive by those studios, like, I mean, they're full of Jews, so it's just,
I haven't heard anything about that. No. But yeah, he's not that important. I mean, he was just frustrating.
At least he didn't pick up anyone else on the way and fuck it up even more.
That's true, yeah.
But then you had one on the way back.
Yes.
That was...
I had one on the way back.
Now, actually, this is and then we can get into this too. It's like a reverse thing of like, Because I always think it's, you know, when I've taken them and it's a girl driver, I'm always like almost like taken aback. I'm like, what? Like,
really?
Because it's mostly dudes doing it.
Oh, I get a lot of girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think. Well, someone told me girls do it mostly during the day.
Oh, I've had some at night too.
Okay, yeah.
But I can see why they would do it.
I've had
there
some.
There was actually a girl that I thought would be good for you, and I got her number, but I didn't. I've never called her, but
she's got a car. That's a good start.
That's true. Yeah.
She liked finger banging.
No, she was like a really like feisty, I think Colombian.
Oh,
and
it's bipolar. Yeah, that's what I
need. But I think she would be a lot of fun.
You're catering to my desire. My desire. For,
desire.
Desire.
For the mamacitas.
Chicas de
mami.
non-blanco. Non-white chicks, for those that don't speak Spanish. Well, we'll talk after the podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to take a little bit of a sabbatical from...
No, me too.
From
but it's hard, like... Always want to matchmake people, and
but you had
it's hard to...
you on your way back. You had, and I want to get into like having girl drivers too for me, but like I wanted to ask you about you were telling me that on your way back you had a guy driver that was getting a little handsy with you.
No, he wasn't getting handsy.
You told me he touched your titties.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
He was just flirting, and like. He has this style of Burbank guys where, like, it's always like, I hate LA women. Like, women who were born here can just fuck up.
He was a Valley guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it was all like, they are the superficial ones, and he just wants a good lady.
Well, that's for those unfamiliar with the LA area, once you, and this is like a weird... sort of, hard lesson I learned when I moved out here, like, because the first place I lived was Burbank, and, because it's close to, I didn't know any better. My roommate wanted to live there at the time, and I thought because it was so close to Hollywood, like, it would be all the same shit. But it turns out, in America, once you get 9 miles outside of any major city, it's the sticks.
Yeah.
And everyone is really conservative.
It's like back home.
Yeah.
So if it's a culture shock, then go
even
to
LA,
Burbank.
which is often railed upon for being this over-the-top liberal, whatever, like, just, if you want to son, still move here and just live in Burbank or whatever, because you'll still get plenty of that. So he was like a traditional mores and valued guy.
Yeah.
That was telling you he didn't like the LA scene.
Well, it was more like, and I can't describe it, and I don't think this particular thing about Valley guys is something that's part of how guys are back home.
Yeah.
I think this is just a, like, very unique stamp on Valley guys, not Oklahoma guys. But there are similarities, definitely. But it's like...
Awful dressing is one.
Yes.
Lots of carbs and diets.
Their shirts into their jeans.
Yeah. Ooh,
and it's 2015.
That was even worse than I thought. Yeah.
You've noticed it, right? Have you?
Like they're the volunteer assistant coach for the week of soccer practice, and they're on orange wedge duty, tucking the shirt into the jeans.
No, or those kids at the playground that were about to tee off. Is that what you said about them?
Oh yeah. We were at a park, and there were these kids that were dressed like mini pro golfers, and their dads seemed like
it's the country club of Burbank.
Yeah, it's like rich white people shit. So this guy,
this guy, he was looking for a lady, and they just like
was he saying that to you like in general conversational terms before he started to like seg into hitting on you, or was it like
he
was like airing his frustrations about chicks.
He really laid it on thick to drop me the hints.
Yeah.
He's tired of dating. He's tired of like getting to know people's stories. He's tired of talking.
Did he even ease into it, or did he just like?
No, he eased into it.
Turn left on Magnolia. You know what I hate about these LA broads? Yeah, they don't have Plan B.
Oh no, I think he would like Plan B. I mean, I think they all kind of want to settle down.
Oh yeah.
But It was just too, like, soon. I mean, it was like...
Too soon to settle down with him?
Yeah. I'm just not ready after a Lyft drive, you know
what kind of car do you have? Because that's...
I just can't settle down with someone in a Kia Sorento.
Yeah. Was that what it was?
Yeah, but I don't care. I don't give a shit about that. And that's the thing about Burbank guys, is they feel like everyone's looking at them like they're judging their status. And it's sad, really. Like, you know, if they're driving a shitty car, they like apologize like 1,000 times. Was he white? But I don't give a shit about his shitty car.
What nationality was this guy?
He was Latino.
Interesting.
And you know...
That's your thing.
I usually don't turn that down. But, you know, it was just, there was no, like,
that's a
connection.
Word.
It was just like,
I need a wife. Any Latino fans we might have coming into this podcast during the pilot episode, note that Lauren usually doesn't turn it down. So if you happen to be Hispanic.
Yes, that's my flavor. So, but I am open to all ethnicities. I'm equal opportunity. But
he's so. But has that happened? Like, so how did it like? When did it go from him kind of? You know, so he's like airing his frustration. Was it like smooth at all, or was it like really sort of like awkward and kind of?
It was really awkward. And like.
When did it go from that into him did he pronounce hit on you? Was it like...
Well, yeah, it was like, hey, this is going to seem awkward, and I already knew, like, it was coming.
That's always a good way to start a line. Like, this is going to seem really uncomfortable, but...
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you say after that.
Yeah, because it's going to be uncomfortable.
Probably just say it.
Yeah. But he was like, you know, can I get your number? Can we talk? Or whatever. And I had to, like... You know,
this is gonna seem forced sexish, but can I have sex with you while you didn't get permission while you're asleep?
Maybe a little weird, but
no ski.
No,
he asked for your number, right?
He asked for my number, and I said that I wasn't ready.
Was it at least towards the end of the ride?
Yeah, he did it towards the end.
That's smooth, though.
Yeah. But
he at least knows.
He did it towards the end. He asked for my number, and I said I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
That I'm just like I'm in a hold. You know, it's not me. It's not you. It's me. Which is true. I have no desire right now. So he was like, well, you know, we can just text. Like, we don't have to go all out. We can just text. Like,
which you should have said yes to.
Why?
Because, like, not that you should, like, fuck with him, but, I mean, why not? Just see what he says. Like, I don't know.
But,
yeah.
I just kind of feel like women...
Hey, you don't have a car? You need rides? Maybe he'll fucking, you know...
That's true. Anyway, I will say this about him. He was very accommodating, so Lyft drivers, keep this in mind to, like, get really good tips. You should have all the phone chargers available... Because when people run out of phone juice, you can be like, ta-da, I have the charger for this,
lots of them have lots of, like, treats and water. The water, I've noticed the water is always, like, room temperature, though, which is a little, you know.
They need to install
I want to start
mini
one
fridges
and have, like, I want, like, I'm going to have a sub sandwich station in mine.
Oh, nice. Yeah. With sandwich artist included? Or
no, because that's money.
Oh, yeah.
No, just like bell peppers and stuff, like, put in, like, the seat back, and then, like, breads.
Oh, like a make your own sandwich bar.
Yeah, you're the sandwich artist.
Oh, empower them.
Power's in your hands, yeah. And then when the chicks all, like, you know, like, what's that ingredient in turkey that's like date rapish?
Tryptophan.
Yeah, when they're all when they're
fan into my bed.
When they're all carbo loaded out, that's when I make my move. Yeah. Say maybe we can just I know this seems awkward, but maybe we can just text first.
But if you were giving girls rides here, they probably wouldn't be carved out because
I don't go for that. Well,
you would have to have no can do.
I can go for that. No.
Oh, I like that one.
I know. Isn't that
like
fun?
the throwing voice. Did he do that in that song?
Yeah, he goes.
I didn't ever hear that.
He goes, I can go for that. No, can do.
No, I'll have to listen for it. No, but you would have to have like spinach wraps and stuff for them. I've been forcing
Hall & Oates
no
on
carb options. You haven't been forcing.
How do you feel
consensual.
About them?
I've always liked them. No, I do. I have always liked them.
I worry that it's bordering now on. It started out with an ex-girlfriend I had that was with 2 years. Like we somehow discovered them together. It was always very much like. I think I said this to you. I've never seen the movie, but I've seen the movie in my head. 500 Days of Summer.
I don't feel like you have though.
I know
because you've said this before.
I'll tell you this, I'm not going to watch it because I'd kill myself if I saw it right now.
Well, yeah, I think now's not a good time.
Yeah.
But I feel like you think you know what it is, but you don't. Because there's a little bit of a twist, a little bit of an edge.
No, I know what it is, though. Because you think they're going to, like, end up together and they break up and shit. And it's like, you know, and that song is in it, I think.
Yeah.
The Hall & Oates song,
and it's a big, like, musical number, very fantastical movie, grandiose, yeah.
And I think that was probably, whenever that movie came out, a few years ago at least, like, that was key in kind of reintroducing the catalog of Hall & Oates into the hearts of hipsters everywhere and people that watch.
Oh, but The Bird and the Bee, have you heard of them?
Yeah, they did that whole cover album.
Yeah,
Ryan actually showed it to me.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, it was very jazzy, you know.
Yeah.
But I liked them before. I had to, like, hide my love for it because it was pop music, and my dad didn't let me listen to pop music.
Right.
But
well,
I always loved them.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, they're kind of corny, you know? So, like, it's always, like, sort of like a borderline, like, ironic thing, but they, I don't know. But they, you know, they're good at pop song craft. Mm-hmm. And
I would like to get better at pop song craft.
I
feel like you're really good at it.
Well, you have to, like, I just feel like these days, since there's no real overall overarching scene anymore and movement other than for, you know, top 40 type stuff, because it's all obviously just moved to downloads and just stuff that supposedly grabs attention right away. Like, you have to, like, it's all just
you have to sell out.
No, it's just very singles oriented.
Yeah.
So if that's not what you're into, like having a sound that is geared towards like hooks and repetition and stuff, then you might feel like you are if you're forcing yourself to do that. But that's already the kind of stuff I like, you know.
Yeah.
I just like to try to, you know, cut a little deeper with it and have it be, you know, have some meaning in the song and stuff. But I mean. And I find I get more like that. Do you not find this? Like, I find the older I get, the less. I mean, I was never, super into like jam bands or any like real psychedelic or so much or like stretching out stuff. But I feel like my attention span is like getting shorter and shorter, and I need like songs that just grab you right away.
No, me too. Yeah. And I also I can't afford to be depressed. So I have to have, like, happy, upbeat songs so that I can, like, function as a human being.
Yeah.
And I have to have, like, catchy, you know, happy, sunshine, rainbow stuff.
Well, that's a lot of what's going on right now, I feel like, is whether it's really mainstream stuff or, like, more indie type stuff. Like, they would play on KCRW out here, the NPR affiliate or whatever it is. Like, no, I'm saying, like, even the stuff that fits, like, a pop format, like as far as the songwriting goes, it's all very moody sounding and very drenched in like echo and the
up here?
No, anywhere. I just feel like the tendency right now, I mean, let's just make
like
it about
indie?
Yeah, like bands that still are organic and mostly in nature, where, you know, their sounds basically derived from bass, drums, guitar, and maybe some synthesizers or a piano or whatever. Like the overall mood is very moody.
Oh, I feel like they're getting more poppy and happy.
I hope you're right. I feel like I haven't.
We'll have to exchange some stuff.
Because that's what I like, and I also like the dichotomy of it sounding like that, but the lyrics can be about any old thing. You know?
And I do want to say that, like,
the Kinks and the Beatles did that.
Yeah.
Way back, the Rolling Stones too. Like, the songs are mostly like pretty toe tapping and catchy, but like you can talk about anything, you know.
Yeah. You can be gritty in a happy song.
I don't feel like it works in the inverse. because
you can't
I was in
be
a
happy and a
well,
gritty.
because I was in a band once that was largely grunge influenced, and like that type of song. I'm always, I mostly just sing and arrange and stuff. So I'm always at the mercy of musicians that are writing the music, and for the most part. And, they were writing stuff that sounded really dark from the ground up. And, like, that always just put me in the mood to write about dark shit. And you know what I mean? And, like, I just don't find that as interesting.
Yeah.
To just, like, I don't know. I think, like, juxtaposition.
I like to write about dark shit if I can turn it around in a bridge. Like, bridges are, like, the problem solvers of the song. So you can, like, you can relate to someone's pain. You can... have others relate to your pain, but then you don't have to stay in that pain. Like, you can turn it around. Well,
and I'm gonna
have a resolution.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be going out on a limb on assuming, but like, we both do music and we both write lyrics, but like, the lyrics are always the last thing to click with me.
Oh yeah.
Not so much for you. It
all comes at once for me.
Really?
Like lyrics and music.
I always hear music first.
I
always listen for like the hooks and stuff, and then like the singing is there, and like I want it to be good and catchy or whatever. The lyrics, I mean, I like some of my favorite shit that I've sang along to a million times. I still don't know the words to. I just do that car thing where you're just like,
where you're rapping and you only do the like end of the rap.
We wanna hold on to one more pretzel or whatever the fuck it is.
What's that song? Is that a Wilson Phillips song? Is it?
Sang it horribly.
Hold on to one more spretzel.
Spretzel.
Oh, I messed that one.
Yeah, I don't know whatever the lyric is.
But yeah, actually, we didn't share this, but yes, we both write songs. And I was actually thinking that it might be fun to collab and write a song together.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
So one of these days
Let's do it. We'll talk to Ryan. Ryan's our, Ryan can be used. And that's what we're doing right now,
No, I really
just bring him some beer and, he helps us out.
I do want to, pay him back somehow.
Now he's going to be our de facto producer. And,
no, I appreciate him a lot. This is really cool, and I appreciate
Ryan's we're about to wrap up here, but Ryan's a good friend of mine, and we have a band together called Shake and Pop, and we're about ready. We have a full band now. It's been a long road, but we're about ready to start playing shows and shit, which I will shamelessly talk about on this show and elsewhere.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, but he's the Prince of Long Beach area and white. But he plays every instrument. He's a really talented producer and engineer, and he's been nice enough to do a lot of work for us and getting our songs off the ground, and he might produce some of Lauren's stuff too. So, and we're at his house right now recording this, and
he's a very gracious host.
And I don't know what sequence exactly these episodes will air in, but the second one we're gonna tape here soon is he will be on it, and you're gonna read his tarot.
I'm gonna get a lot of guff for this second episode because I know there are some skepticals in this room.
Well, he's a really nice guy, so he's not going to give you any guff, but I'm going to see how I feel about it because I want to be open-minded,
Yeah.
We'll see.
I can't. We'll cover that in the next.
All right.
But
we didn't even get to everything we wanted to, and I think the second one we're going to do shortly, we'll probably still do some introductory shit, but and let you know a little bit more about us. We'll maybe talk about some school days shit and coming of age stories and whatnot. It's going to be a real Stand By Me kind of. Did you ever see a dead body? Don't answer that yet.
I actually have never seen Stand By Me, and not to get all post-production, but I did do a Cinesony the other day.
Oh, yeah.
On Stand By Me. And so I'm going to check it out.
All right.
Finally. There's a lot of movies I need to check out. But sorry I can't share in that Stand By Me moment with you.
Well, that you just brought it to a grinding halt by that weird share that
I'm sorry, guys.
No, it was fun.
We worked together too. Yeah. Did we mention that?
No, we should get into that at some point. But we are the big kids, and this is our pilot episode. Wrapping it up, we're going to tape another one here shortly, and thank you all for listening. And
yes, thank you. We appreciate it.
I feel like it's only going to be my mom.
Oh,
listening.
I don't think my mom will even listen.
Really?
I think it's going to be like people who hate me or people who want to date me. That should be my next Real Housewives line. I don't understand Real Housewives lines.
You gonna hate or date?
Yeah, you gonna hate me, you gonna date me.
Well, your mom's still on dial-up, so
that's true. So I don't know if she'll even be able to reach me in the pilgrim.
That pipeline
way
doesn't
she
extend to cable internet. Thank you so much, guys, for listening.
Thank you.
And we'll see you shortly. Bye.
Bye.
Good job. That was good.
Oh yeah, I think.